So this ball has been on a roller coaster. For the longest time, this two was equal in votes, and I was certain I'm going to do both of these puzzles for this video. And then just as I started the first one, another vote came in for the Panorama, and I thought, okay, I'll do the Panorama for today's video, and I'll do this one a next video for next week. And as I started recording this, another vote came in, and they are on equal footing once again. So you are in luck, because today I will talk to you about both of these beautiful art puzzles. So as Lady Luck would have it, it turned out that we've got one portrait puzzle and one panoramic puzzle, which is absolutely perfect for the purposes of this video. And another bonus for me is that one of these seems to be a bit on the older side and the other one a newer one. So I can also compare the two puzzles and give you an indication of what to expect of the old ones and the newer ones. So starting with the first one I did was the Celebrate Life Gallery. It is a portrait style puzzle. And this one, as soon as I took out the pieces from the bag, I was like, this seems a little glossy. And there's only 2 in and 2 out pieces for this puzzle. And I can't remember the previous ones I did being this glossy or only having the standard piece shapes. And I thought, okay, maybe I didn't remember this correctly. But I finished the puzzle. Bonus points. The image is absolutely beautiful. The print is crisp and clear. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. The gloss is not as bad that it takes away from the enjoyment. I didn't struggle to see the pieces or the detail at any stage. And then the cut is of such a nature that I didn't experience any false fits. Again, the image leans towards the more detailed image. So every piece had detail which helps to determine which book or where it belongs. It was only the greens, and even for the greens, there was different shades of greens. There was some that's more light and more dark, and the shades definitely help. So I didn't experience any false fits on that one at all. So when I took out the pieces for the second puzzle, which is the Panorama, I saw, okay, this is more as I remember the pieces. They are far more matte, definitely not as high gloss on the pieces as the first one I did, and there are more shapes. It turned out that there was 3 different shapes, and although the 2 innies and 2 outies standard pieces were in the majority, there was enough other pieces of the other 2 that helped to just not make this only one piece type. Again, the piece cut was of such nature that I didn't experience false fits. This image was a little bit more difficult in the sense that there was more darker areas. The trees, you guys will know, trees in general is not the easiest section of a puzzle to assemble, but even for that dark green areas, I didn't experience any false fits whatsoever. So the first puzzle had one piece out of all the pieces in the center that was different from the 2 innies and 2 outies. The panoramic, as I say, there was at least 3 different types of pieces. So I just assumed that somewhere along the line the people spoke and art puzzles listened. They switched from a more glossy image or finish to a matte finish, and they included a little bit more piece shapes just to give a variety. Although usually when you see 2 innies, 2 outies throughout, you immediately think false fits. But the cut was of such nature, I definitely did not experience false fits. The knobs was unique enough on every piece that I didn't have any trouble at all. So the reason I love this brand, and this is now mostly with the newer puzzles in mind, is the matte finish. It is the fact that there's 0 false fits and the art. They have a unique range of artwork on their puzzles. I absolutely love it. And personally, I will definitely buy more of this brand if I get images that I love. And they are usually the brand that goes a little bit beyond what is general, what is typical puzzle images. The other one I had was the one with the colorful cats, and it was a different art style, and I absolutely loved it. These two were more traditional, but still, I haven't seen any of these two on another brand. Although I think the Celebrate Life one was also published by Aerographics, if I'm not mistaken. So if you love that image and you don't like the art puzzle brand, you can also look out for that one as Aerographics. Kim Norlien, on the other hand, the one that created the panoramic image, she is from the USA and a lot of her work is published by Buffalo. So I'm not sure if this image is one of those published by Buffalo. And an interesting question now, and I'm just thinking of it. Does Buffalo have panoramic images? If not, then this might be the reason why it's only available on an art puzzle. So yeah, just something that I was thinking about. A little bit of a loose fit. We will check if it survives the pickup challenge. I believe it might not. Um, the older one, because it is not as tight. The newer one, the panoramic, just because of the size of the layout of the image. But we will see. Personally, a loose fit has never ever bothered me. I grew up with puzzles of the like of Castelland, and they've got a loose fit. You won't pick that puzzle up anytime soon, and it doesn't bother me. So the looser fit didn't bother me. It's more difficult to move sections of this puzzle, but if that is something that puts you off from a brand, then this is not your brand. But other than that, I can't complain about this brand at all. Absolutely love their work. Panorama versus Portrait. What's your favorite between those two? I know the standard puzzles are the ones that we tend to go for because we are used to it and we know it and we love it. But then the puzzle companies went out and they created portrait puzzles and they created panoramic puzzles. Personally, I tend to shy away a little bit from portraits because one, when I do the videos, they tend to struggle a bit with the recording. So because the orientation is just different from the view you see on a TV or a screen or whatever. So for that purpose, usually I will just turn it around on its side and complete it as if it was a standard puzzle. And I don't have a problem with switching the image in my mind to a sideways orientation. For this one, it was the very first time that I did a portrait from in the right orientation. I started from the top. The image was of such nature that I could do it. Started with the sky, I did the bridge and the greens, and then the girl. And then by the time that I got to the books, I could move it up far enough, and this part wasn't bigger than a standard puzzle. So for this one, it kind of worked and I could do it. But usually I would just flip it around and put it on its side and do it sideways. On the other hand, we've got the panoramas. Love it. I love it, and I don't know how you feel about these. They are not much bigger than a standard size puzzle. You've got about, what's that, 8 centimeters on each side further, and it's easier for me to look at that little piece on the sides than it would be to look at the top of a portrait style puzzle. So exactly the same amount of edge pieces. Believe it or not, I double counted that just to make sure. Exactly the same amount of edge pieces. So once you've got the edge completed, you know exactly where you are with space. So how do you feel about this? Do you prefer a portrait or a panorama? I would just once again like to say thank you to everybody that voted in the polls. I really appreciate it and I enjoy this series so much. I think I've got enough puzzles and ideas to keep it going for a little while. We might have to take a break when I do the summer or the winter puzzle Olympics that's coming up in December, January, but I will resume this series as soon as I'm done with that. So that is it for today. And again, I would just like to say I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.